Alright, we're going to do a bit of a walk around. We've got some flower buds forming. So a lot of the stuff I'm keeping in this area either have flowers or I'm waiting to see what they're going to look like a bit older, or I just need to move them to the farm. Exciting news, Quichua has a pup. So I am going to be grafting that any day now. But yeah, unfortunately, there are no flower buds. So, and I don't think it's going to flower. I think it's a bit too healthy this season, because I found a lot of the stuff, if they're looking really good, really healthy, they're not flowering. I mean, this Globulicola, incredibly healthy, heaps of water, heaps of fertilizer, but I mean, it is pretty big, so it's not that much of a surprise that it is flowering. But I've got some other stuff that's quite healthy that's not flowering. And on the farm, because I've been struggling to get water and to fertilize, and just the conditions they're in, they seem to struggle a bit more, but way more things are flowering. Even at sizes like, even at this big, stuff on the farm is flowering. So yeah, and less stuff here is flowering. More of the bigger stuff here in Sydney is flowering. So we've got some of our grafts from Peru going nicely. This guy, I want to wait a little longer. I want to wait another half a season just to see what it's going to turn out to be like. But I'm probably gonna cut that off and sell it, most likely. But I want to give it a bit longer to see if maybe I want to root it and try and flower it to get crosses going. This guy, I'm gonna keep him, and I'm gonna try and get seeds from him to do a cross. I quite like the spines, the shape, the uniformity. It hasn't a lot. I've been putting off doing a video for a little while now because I feel like there's not enough new stuff to show, but I thought I'd do it anyway, and we'll see what there is. And yeah, so with the Quichua, I am going to graft. I'll see if I can get a better shot of this pup down here. So I'm going to try and graft that up this week, and I'll chuck it on stuff. I got my grafting stock set up here. So this is stuff that I don't really want in terms of genetics, but they're like good enough for grafting. So for example, this guy, I already had a graft on him, but I'm going to let him pup. I'm going to cut the pup, and then I'll stick something on there. But like, I might... Oh, that thing's got a flower there. I didn't even see that. Yeah, he's only got one flower so far. But that's surprising because, like, he's not that big. He's pretty small. But like this... Oh, yeah, I do have... Actually, that's kind of a failed graft there. I'll take that off. But I'd cut that pup down there, cut one of those off, and maybe chuck a Quichua on there. Same as this, put a Quichua on that one. And yeah. Alright, where were we? Grafting Quichua. So I think I can split that pup at least into half and do one graft and another graft, and possibly another so I might do 4 grafts. I'll see. When I'm cutting up, I'll just see how big the center is and how confident I feel in it. But it should be good. So in saying that, if I'm grafting them up now, I do want to get myself quite a few grafts before I offer it up. So maybe end of the season. Either end of this season, I'll be offering up Quechua cuttings. But it's not a promise, so we'll wait and see. It will most likely be put on the Australian auction page, and you guys can work out what the price will be. I am going to put it up, just so you guys know, $500 starting price. I've seen plenty of stuff sell on that page. I'd love to be giving it out for free, but if I don't have a job. This is my job. So if I want this to make me money and live off doing what I love, I need to make money. So starting price for Quechua is $500. And by the end of the season, sorry, hopefully I'll be offering up cuts. We'll see what happens. Now we've got all these other pups from grafts from Peru, coming along nicely. I'll be offering up some of these soon. I'm gonna let this grow a bit more, but yeah, I'll cut that. If anyone's interested in certain things, let me know. I'm also selling on Plant Arc. That's Plant ARC, and just search up Kurt's Cactus or Trichocereus and you'll find my stuff. Also, you can just message me on Instagram, through Facebook, comment on the video, whatever you want. Absolute beauty. I love this guy. Like, the pups always just get me going. I haven't seen any flowers on this guy yet, but there's always time. I mean, I've just found this guy there. You won't be able to see it, I don't think. No. But he's flowering, and he only just came on in the past few days. So, which I'm really happy about. It's got this geometric sort of look and notchiness. So I'm really excited. Here's some of the pups. Just look alright as well. There's nothing crazy special about this guy. I just think he's very strong. I have no problems in terms of pest and disease. Decently fast growing, sturdy, and it just gets this this checkered look in it. So for example, if I crossed this, and I'm thinking about that checkered look there, with the Quechua, that also gets that checkered look, more ribby. You know, that's going to create something super, super nice. It wouldn't, vary so much from what Quechua looks already. I think it'd look maybe a bit thicker with more Pakanoi, and hopefully increased bumps and geometrical sort of looks. And so during this time, I'm trying to think about what I'll be crossing the stuff that has flowers with. So, I think, what am I going to cross this scopulicola with? And I'd love to really work towards trying to grow a fatter scopulicola and try and get the fattest scopulicola possibly. So to do that, I would cross that scopulicola with another fat scopulicola. We'll go at the back real quick. All these seedlings are gone. They're taken up to the farm. These are new seedlings I did a couple of weeks ago. And these are also the seedlings I did a couple of weeks ago. I love recycling things. And I drink a lot of milk, so got these square milk bottles, and I cut the tops off like that and flip that off. I put my soil in. You can probably see this guy a bit better. Yeah, I don't know if you're going to be able to see. Yeah, you can see a couple green little seedlings in there. But yeah, so it works well. I've done this before, and I don't have to throw those out. I don't have to buy new containers. I usually just use what I can. We got, what's this one? No, not Peru. No, this one. So we've got all of those, and that is from this guy right here. And he again has flowers this year. This is the 3rd year in a row, I think, having flowers. You can see a bit on the top there. I can't zoom in very much with this new camera I got, but we'll work with it. So now, with that scopulicola, I'd love to cross it with this guy. As well, I'd like to cross couture with this, but, you know, I might have to wait another year for flowers. Just with... that just blows me away. And I find with a lot of cactus, like, it's always the tips that look quite nice, or the pups. And then when you get down the stem, it's like, oh yeah, you don't really look at that because it's whatever. But this guy, you just look at all of it. It looks really nice down there. And so you can enjoy quite a lot of the plant, not just the tip. So yeah, I'd like to cross that with that big scopulicola because they both have that fat gene. And sure, I could just keep crossing scop with scop, but then it's just going to end up being scopulicola, and I want it to have different traits as well as being as fat as I possibly can get them. So what I'm going to do is cross that with that scopulicola that I was just showing you before, and then I would pick out the fattest seedling, the fattest and fastest growing seedling in that pot. I'd graft it up, I'd grow it as fast as possible, and then again I would cross it again with the second fattest scop in that seedling tray. And hopefully I'd end up just getting, like, as well, this guy's fat, and he's scop, so I'd cross him as well. And I just want something just, you know, Trichocereus fat. You know, the Trichocereus, when they get to full size, I want the scopulicolas that size, if not bigger. But it may take me 40 years, 50 years, who knows. But it's a dream of mine, so that'd be cool. I have heaps of ideas of breeding. We got this one here is Bogan, the clone Bogan, and he's got flowers up the top there. So we got some Bogan seeds going. We got some Con cross Eileen. And you can see a pup there. This one does 4 ribs every now and again, and it's just basically a classic Brigesio look, but it seems to get decently thick and this sort of rounded look. It's quite nice. And then we got the Peru, Peru 2, I think, cross Jules Giant, I think it is. Anyway, that one I always quite like, and it's looking juicy, it's looking fat. You can actually see the flower buds on the top there. And I recently just cut that column off there on the right, and that was up on my plant arc for sale. I sold that for $40, $20 shipping. It's already bought, and if you want another one, let me know. I got another pup down there coming along, so I'm happy to cut that one. These get like super fat. In the pictures and videos, you can just never really tell how fat something is. And I want to emphasize that it's big, you know. And this guy down here. So yeah, we got HBO8. It's got a pup coming out, so I'll chuck that on my plant arc soon. This guy I quite like. This one is from Peru. Well, I got it from Herbalistics, and I think they got it from Peru. And it gets this notchiness, kind of like PC, but it's a little nicer. So I don't really like this. You know, I wouldn't keep it just for the way it looks. I want to keep it for the genetics, and I'm going to cross this with something else. For example, and it, you know, it looks a lot better than this when it's a bit bigger. But it's got so many pups on it. Down there, heaps there. That's all just from the one plant. So when it gets bigger, it looks a lot nicer. And it's got 2 more pups there. But anyway, I'd like to cross this, for example, with this guy. This guy gets pretty ribby too, and a nice blue. So super. I would love to get flowers on him, but I can't see anything at the moment. We got flowers on. I have to go on the other side because the lighting's not very good. Oh, hope you guys have seen on my Instagram Gamma here. Got it from Trib's Trichos. Absolute beauty. Super thick, vigorous. It is grafted onto a scopular collar, of course, but regardless, looking great. I've got another one here as well that was grafted last year, but it didn't pup until this spring, so hopefully he'll start looking good. And he's onto this big guy here, so Pachyceres pringlei, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he's pushing from about there. I think he's done this much in spring, and he's grafted onto this fat boy. He's looking great, honestly. I don't grow many of these, but I thought I'd give it a go grafting it up, and it looks so cool. Here we go, Shark's Blue. Finally got a pup. There's a video on my Instagram of this guy fell over and I had to cut him. But he's actually got another pup coming in there. And this fat guy. That's cool. 2 pups. He's got this guy though. No flowers that I've noticed. We do have, I think this is a Shark's Blue cross John, and he does have some flowers on him. Whoa. So that'll be nice to get some seeds from him, because he seems, it's thicker than Shark's Blue. There's a pup from Shark's Blue, and Shark's Blue does get a little thicker than that, but this is the Shark's Cross John, and especially that tip, it's very thick. But yeah, that's got at least 3 flowers up there. This guy's, I like him, quite spiny. Can't see too well. Shadows. But yeah, he's got flowers. That thick guy right there, he's got flowers. Unfortunately, HBO7 and HBO8 do not have flowers yet. But I'm really hoping they get some flowers. They really need some. They're beautiful. Reaching for the sky though, and the pups. Oh man, I can never get over pups, especially thick ones. What do you guys think? I personally like the HBO7 over the HBO8. When HBO8 does this kind of stuff, and that, I will hands down say HBO8 is a lot nicer. But if you're looking at the normal growth of HBO8, I would much rather HBO7. Got this certain look about it I just love. This guy's looking nice. I think that's P4 cross Numa, or however you pronounce that, P Numa. Pretty average looking, but he seems quite strong, sturdy, and just resilient. So I might keep him for crosses. But this guy, cannot wait to get some seeds from him. That'd be great. That's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5 buds coming up there. We've got our Quamby. I've always got cuttings of Quamby available if anyone wants some. Brilliant cactus, just super fast growing, super strong, resistance to pest and disease. Like, he's right up. He's probably one of my tallest. He might be second at the moment, but he's really tall. Give him a little wobble. Oh yeah. I don't know if he's got flowers. I mean, he's bloody huge, so you'd expect him to have flowers, but I can't really see up that high. But yeah, he really pushes. Like, he's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 arms, and now he's got even more pups pushing, and the whole time he's just pushing this giant column, and he just keeps going. And like, usually and this is a bit thinner because of, you know, the energy, but it's great, you know. Really not many marks. It's got some scratches there from the spines, but no fungal has taken over whatsoever. And usually, even down here in the crevices, you get fungal marks, and you get a bit of this is more so corking in here, but it's just, and the split here is insane. That is just girth. And wow, I actually have not looked at this in a long time, and that is just getting beautifully big. Down the back here, a lot of that is getting just overgrown. They're gonna have to get taken out. A couple of those at the back, at least one of the back ones has flowers on it. I've probably got about 30 different cactus flowering this season, which is the most I've ever had. And so it's going to be a big year for me. Oh, there you go. That one's got flowers too. This one, which might be Oz Jewels. Can't quite remember. This beauty's got flowers. This one's got flowers. This one's Maducana. Oh, there's a little pup of Maducana. And he's quite tall, but he's real solid Pakanoi. But yeah, he's got flowers. This guy's got flowers. I'd like this guy. No flowers that I can see. He's just a pretty looking guy. What else we got going? This guy is Peruvian. I can't believe how thick he's gotten. Super fast grower. Like, yes, of course, he is grafted onto this monster in ground. So, of course, it's going to get a heap of nutrients. But then, like, there's this guy, which, yes, it is smaller and it's in a pot. 100% this is rooted into the ground. So, it is getting quite a lot of nutrients. It can photosynthesize quite a lot. But this just doesn't, it's not pushing as hard, it's not growing as much. And I think this was probably grafted around the same time as this guy. And it's just a monster. And this is just swollen up. This is 4 ribs down here at the base of it. Absolutely beautiful. I love all of this here. But yeah, he pushes growth. He's quite thick. There's nothing crazy about him, like, in terms of looks wise. He's a nice looker, but I like how he's super resilient. Doesn't seem to have too many issues. A lot of these seed grown from Peru, I'm finding have fungal problems. And I don't know if it's because they're being grafted or if it's just in their genetics. This guy's got, like, there's a spot there. There's some spots there, but it's really not bad. Like, he's pretty spotless, which I'm really happy about because I'm finding it's quite rare to find these Peruvian seed groans without fungal marks on them. Yeah. We'll have a look over here, eh? It's a bit of a mess. I haven't been home for much time. Some stuff has fallen over. We had crazy winds. And as well, this is the time of the year where everything falls, really, because they've come out of winter. They've sort of solidified themselves. Nothing's growing. There's no extra weight at the top of them. But when spring comes in, they start growing. They start swelling. And so the weight above them gets heavier, and then they end up falling over because they're growing. So yeah, things fall over. I'd graft onto this guy. He looks solid. The scopular collars, especially like a scop cross Pakanoi, seem to be great for grafting. They just push so hard, and that's a fantastic pup to graft on right now. Cut that, chuck a couture on there, and we're good to go. Wait, let's get... Super spiny, not very thick though. Looking alright. See, this is what I'm talking. So this is again a Peruvian seed grown, and you can see spot there, there, down there, and it doesn't get crazy outbreaks, but they just get spots growing all up them, and it seems to be a pattern with these Peruvian seed groans. But then the one out the back, you know, and that's in more shade than this guy. This guy gets way more sun, and so I always hear more sun, less fungal, because fungal doesn't like too much sun. Here comes a massive helicopter making heaps of noise. But yes, I would put it down to the genetics are prone to fungal on this guy, but the other guy doesn't. Is not prone. Let's see if we can. Oh yeah, I'll go over here first. Some buds on this guy. So a lot of these don't look that great. They look quite skinny, quite malnourished. That is because through all of winter and even the last season, these guys were in crappy positions. They were in positions that didn't get much light, so they don't grow thick. If your cactus are growing thin, I would put it down to not enough water or not enough sun. That is every single time I have a cactus that grows quite skinny and looks deficient, it's most likely that they're not getting enough water or they're not getting enough sun. Now, obviously there are some cactus that just grow skinny, and that's their habit. Like this guy here, he's been in this position his whole life, and it's still quite skinny. He does get a bit shaded from these guys, but I can tell he's not going to grow much more. Same as that guy right there. He doesn't get much thicker. That's just the variety. I get that. But I know for a fact that all of these are skinny, and they all came from shaded positions. So we'll have a little look at these experiments. So we'll start off with the two in water. So I try my best to refill this ice cream tub with water whenever I remember, and try and have it as full as possible so that the soil is wet, soaking all the time. Now this is my normal soil mix that I've used for everything else, and I just wanted to see what happens if they're in water, constantly waterlogged. So now quite obviously he's very yellow. This guy hasn't gone yellow, so I don't know why he's gone yellow and he hasn't. I was thinking maybe the yellowness is from the water, but maybe the yellowness is from the water in just these Scop cross Pacanoi varieties. I think that's what that is, isn't it? I don't know. It's tallest op. Tallest cross Slimer. That's New Zealand. I can't remember what they are, but I think most of them are Pacanois. But anyway, I would assume the water is because it's yellow, because the other ones are not yellow. But you can obviously see this guy is not healthy at all. He's got a bit of that black sooty mold, which I never really worry about as long as you're in a aerated position and they're not getting soaked in water. You really don't get that issue, because this guy's right next to it and I can't see. He might have a touch of that black mold there, but really not much. So yeah, they can grow, but they're not going to do the best in water. They have no signs of rot whatsoever. Not squishy. They're dead hard, actually. And that was all through winter. That was all through last season, all through winter, and this is spring now. So they've been in here for more than a year. We've got this guy here, and he is in garden soil. So this is just the soil from my garden, which we've grown vegetables, so it's not bad soil. It's just soil. It's quite sandy, and it does have bark chips in it from previous years that I've put bark chips in there. But it's actually doing all right. I'd say it's average. They're not looking crazy healthy, but they're not looking sick either. They don't have much fungal. Again, fungal could be genetic. And so this experiment, this test, isn't conclusive. These are all seedlings. They're not clones. What would be the best test is if they're all clones, all the same size, all the same thicknesses, but I just, I don't have the time to do that at the moment. In the future, I'm definitely going to try and narrow down my experiments, but this is just to see, as anything wild, anything extreme. But they're doing all right. So that's just garden soil. Not looking too bad. And he's not looking too bad. So these are two different. So this is Tallest cross Slimer, and this one is Lima cross Ocellato, and that is the same in each one of these square pots. And so I've put them all in here roughly the same sort of conditions. Yeah. So then we got the mineral mix. Now I don't know if you'd classify this as a mineral mix, but I don't think there's much organic. So in this mix down here, we've got pumice, biochar, zeolite, bird grit, which is just shells, which I don't really use shells anymore, but yeah, it's got the shells in there, and I used to use that for the calcium. And I think that's it. And they're doing the best. And that's why a lot of people say, you don't need organics. You just need inorganic, just rocks and shit. And I do fertilize all of these. Not crazy, man. I fertilize all of these the same, and the same as everything else. I didn't apply any, so I had this leftover Osmocote and I wanted to get rid of it. So I've given Osmocote to everything because I can't be here to fertilize them liquid feed all the time. So because I'm a bit lazy, I fed them all this Osmocote, and that's the last of it, and I don't really have any more. But I didn't give it to these guys because I didn't want to, I don't know, I just wanted to, yeah, because I feel like anything that you give fertilizer, they'll look great in shitty conditions. You can grow stuff in cocoa peat, which has fucking nothing in it, and so if you give them fertilizer, they look great. But I wanted to really pull out what they're going to look like in that soil. But yeah, so surprisingly, they're looking great. No issues, nice and straight, nice and tall, beautiful green. This guy, I think, now it definitely could be the media. That is why it's looking so great, but I'm sort of drawing to the conclusion that it's the genetics, but maybe it's the media that's allowing it to show its genetics, its characteristics, because this guy has not shown its characteristics whatsoever. This guy a little bit, but this guy's looking great. He's got some longer spines forming, a bit more of indentations, more colour, more character. He's looking nice. But yeah, so that's, again, biochar, pumice, zeolite, shell grit, and I think that's it. Now we got, which I personally think is what's grown the best. In this one, this is bagged potting mix from Bunnings, or you'll get it from any place. But I always hear that it has basically no nutrients. Obviously there's nutrients in bark, but if anyone's used their soil, you will know that the soil's not that good. Let's see if we can get some out here. Well, the roots are doing great because I can feel that it's full of roots, but it's all bark, really. That's what their potting mix is. A little bit of sand and some bark. And so they have Osmocote in the bag, so that's what feeds them for 6 months or maybe up to a year. And that's why when you do grow stuff in it, they actually grow all right. But the thing with having this as well, it does dry out pretty easily. So that can also be a benefit. I've seen nurseries where they grow purely with this super barky soil and less like dirt kind of soil stuff. But they're doing all right, surprisingly. They do look a little deficient, like a bit of the yellowing here and a bit of the moldy sort of stuff, sooty mold. So that surprised me. I really didn't think they were going to do good at all. Now we got... The funny one is my mix. This is my soil mix that so I've changed my mix now, but this is what I was using for everything, which I think has probably done second worst. What's done worse is probably the one in the water constantly. And so this is just my normal mix. This guy had some issues of, I think it was bipolaris or something similar. It's healed up now, so no problems there. But and other than that, it's not too bad. So they're all right, but I would honestly say the one in just the normal potting mix is probably a little better. I mean, these guys are thicker, they're skinnier, and then mineral mix looks just healthy, consistent. Waters, yeah, they're just not really good. They've grown plenty, but they're just not the best. Garden soils, alright. Oh, and this is unlimited fertilizer mix. So when I made this mix, I just tried to put as much fertilizer in as possible, like way too much gypsum, way too much osmocote, way too much insect fast, just everything, organic fertilizers and chemical fertilizers. Every time I fertilize everything else, I give it like 5 times the amount of fertilizer. Let's see if we can... So you can see I'm like digging out the fertilizer. And there we've just hit soil down there. But that is caked on, and I've put that on, I don't know, 3-4 times now in the past year and a bit. And just handfuls until it's basically overflowing. And I try and water these as well, especially that guy, because the more I water it, the more it'll get the fertilizer as well. And if I do liquid fert, I'll give it more as well. But it just doesn't seem like it's doing anything bad. They look fantastic. Super green. No blemishes. Same as this guy. They're not very thick though, and I'm not sure if that's just... I'm thinking that it's the genetics of this one at least. I know these guys will get a bit thicker, and he is probably... yeah, he's probably the thickest except for the one in the water. But they're green, and I was expecting them to get fungal outbreaks. Where are we? Sorry, there. You know, they got some scars and all that, but really, I can see a couple dots of fungal, but I really wouldn't worry about it if I saw it on anything else. Yeah, I can't believe it how well they've done. There you go, there's a couple fungal spots there. 1 second, there you go. But there you have it. You can't over fertilize your cactus. I suppose the next thing I want to do is give them 0 water and then load them up with fertilizer to see what happens. Because then I want to see what fertilizer burn looks like on these cactus. And I also want to do an EC reading, but I guarantee the EC reading is going to be off the charts from the soil. Then I got... I had one in a windowsill in my garage. And that really didn't look very well. And so that's also how I narrowed down that these cactus need sun and they need water. And then everything else is kind of like extra. But we got, so this guy here, right in the corner there, one second, let's just, there we go. And so you can see I got my roof here. The sun starts over that way and goes over down there. And so it gets quite a lot of sun. It gets no water. I do not water it at all because this is a simulation to see, because everyone goes, you don't need to water cactus. And I would agree, if the cactus is in ground, outside, you don't need to water them. Really don't need to water them. If they're outside in pots and you have a bit of a drought, you can definitely water them. Otherwise, they will get a bit stunted. And that's for me because I'm growing really good looking cactus. But for the average cactus grower, you probably still don't need to water them. And so what I wanted to show is how they've stopped growing completely. Let's get these things out because they're not growing ever. I'm pretty confident on that. And so again, yeah, these are the same ones. Lima cross Ocellato. I just showed you them. Taurus cross Slimer. Let's get some nice close-ups. It is, yeah, fully dehydrated. It's insanely thin. This one's even smaller. And again, my normal soil mix, but this is bone dry. And so this is to show and prove that you do need to look after cactus. To a degree, and so now it's sort of proven the point that they do need some water. But now I just want to see how long they can survive with zero water. And I don't fertilize them either because you kind of need water if you're going to fertilize something. You can't really fertilize without liquid. They can't. They just really can't absorb it much. So yeah, I'm gonna continually leave it here for endlessly until they die. And I want to see. So it's been more than a year now, and I want to see how many years I can go without them getting a drop of water. And that just shows how amazing these cactus are, really. Now, for anyone that's in Sydney or wants to make a trip to Sydney, all of this is for sale. All of it. There's some big stumps, $40. There's some tall, bumpy Brigesiais, vigorous growers. There's some spiny guys. There's all sorts. Quite a lot of Brigesii, to be honest. I'm finding myself not liking Brigesii as much. But, heaps. All of this for sale. I got a sausage, Peruvian sausage. It does the monstrosity a little bit. Rib shifting more so. And the termination. Terminating there and terminating at the top. Now I've got two pups. What are we thinking? Maybe 70. Maybe even 60. We'll see. But yeah, all of this for sale. Even got a a stump of Bart, Peruvianus Bart, the clone. This is from Peru, from Herbalistics, I think it was. This guy's for sale. All of it. Some flowers out. Gonna keep this guy for flowering and seeds. Now, I wouldn't keep him specifically for fungal issues. Now, I've really thought about fungal issues a lot lately, and I think there's still a lot to learn, but some stuff don't get fungal. They just don't. I think if they were a bit more unhealthy, less nutrients and all that stuff, then yeah, they could get fungal. But other stuff, they just get fungal no matter what. Now you can treat it with chemicals and all that, but my life's getting busier and busier, and where I want to go, I want to start having premium genetics. I want stuff that's not... I don't want people to buy cactus from me and go, oh, it's got fungal, or it's drooping, or it's leaning over, or it's doing this, or it's slow growing. I want to grow the best stuff possible. So in saying that, then you go, oh, well, why would you keep this? Because then you're going to pass down the genetics of this. Well, sort of. I want the looks of this cactus, but I don't want that part of it, the weakness of the genetics. So what I do is I cross this with anything else, maybe the big fat scop there. Then I look at the seedlings, and I'll give you an example. I actually don't have many seedlings here, but even just here, right? These guys. To me, this guy is the biggest, the fastest growing, and the fattest of all of these guys. That guy's not too bad as well, but this guy looks a bit darker of green. It just looks more solid. I can't see any fungal marks on it. And so out of all these guys, I'm going to pick him. And, you know, if there's nothing wrong with these guys as well, I might keep him. If I don't want them, I'll throw them out or sell them, whatever. But so if I have something that has fungal, then I cross it and I pick out the seedlings that seem more resilient, and hopefully I get something that doesn't have fungal. And so I'm trying to build a collection that is fast growing, thick, vigorous, and just resilient. And we'll get there, but it's going to take some time. I can never get over this Ana. I don't know if it's because it's one of the it was the first Peruvian seed that I grafted, and I still haven't found one that's better looking in my opinion. Or I suppose it's different. It has these crazy. It has these crazy long spines at the base, curving upwards as well. And it's just like, when you can't get your hand into the ribs, that's when you know it's spiny. I also want this one for the genetics. I think the spines are quite unique-ish. And the vigorousness, how fast it grows decently fast, big spines. I don't think it's the best, but I would like to use its genetics to put into something else, maybe something a bit more pretty, because I find there's things that are good looking, like things that are uniform. For example, just like the scopulocola, it's uniform. This is a little more messy, so maybe even that with Quichua and get some uniformity going. But oh, this guy over here, Quichua is going on him 100%. Look how fat these pups are coming out. So this is quite a big guy. He's in a pretty big pot down there. And I had something grafted on it before, but it didn't take. But I'm going to try again with the Quichua, and like I just know it's going to pump it so hard. It's going to be good. Oh, let me show you this guy. I'm really excited about HBO4 cross T. cuscoensis. I've been thinking, if it continues to look the way I want it to look, I'm going to name it 4cuz. Just the number 4 and CUZ, 4cuz, because it's from Herbalistics, HBO4 cross T. cuscoensis, and it was Seedlings. It's not their clone, it's just seed that I bought from them. I germinated it, and I've got it grafted here. I've got a few grafts, and I just like how it looks. And again, I more so see potential in it to breed with, but I like it. And I was thinking about naming it, but I don't want to name too many things, and I don't know. We've got another experiment over here. This was... one second. I cut straight down. So I wanted to see if you cut dead center, will that center of growth keep growing on just both sides? So this and this will turn into a single thing. But it seems like no, because that is coming out of the areole. So not necessarily. I mean, you may as well just cut it and let it pup. But then if you cut it that way, are you guaranteed to get 2 pups? I don't know. And so I tried a few more. This one has 2 cuts, so it's got 4 segments, and that's pupping on one side, and the other sides don't seem to be growing. Again, did it with this one. Yeah, that's pupping as well. So I don't think it works. Yeah. I mean, unless you just want pups, then sure. I seen a guy, I can't remember who it was, maybe Wakuma something, I don't know, Wachuma, on YouTube, and he goes all the way down and does each rib, and then he gets them all pupping. So yeah, that'll be a bit better. But I wanted the tip to keep growing twice or 4 times. All right, I feel like we've almost been through everything. There's not much to go through in Sydney. I've got so much stuff on the farm going. I'm really, really excited about the stuff that's coming up on the farm. I really feel like a little child, but it's super exciting. This guy's got flowers, and I think this guy's got some good stuff to produce in terms of seeds. Like crossing that with almost anything is going to be interesting. It's got this certain look about it. It's nice. But yeah, it's got flowers. What is it? 1, 2, at least 2 buds coming. Boltwood's got some pups. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5, I think that is, at the top. And they are actually growing at an insane pace. Like, they're getting big quick. And that's one thing I noticed about boltwood from the very start, is when I had it, I don't know what size it was, whether it was like here. Yeah, it was probably around there, but it went from there to there to there, and it kept getting so big, so thick and vigorous, and it looks so incredibly healthy, and it always caught my eye. It's, you know, I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen what boltwood looks like, and it's nothing crazy. It's whatever, you know, it's nice, but it's not anything crazy. But it just has this vigor about it. It glows with energy, yeah, it's an insane grower for me. And I will be crossing as many things as I possibly can with it. It's a real shame that it snapped, because no flowers, but it is what it is. But yeah, I will be crossing as many possible things as I can with it to get that vigor out of it. Although I do have an insane amount of I do have an insane amount of boltwood open pollination seedlings on the farm, which they seem like they're crossed with a Bruggesii. So, because a lot of them have quite big spines on them, so it'll be interesting to see a boltwood crossed with Bruggesii. That's what it seems like to me so far. So, but yeah, you guys will all see that on the farm I'll probably do a pretty nice video in a month's time or so. Yeah, sorry I haven't done many videos. I'm really just waiting for more growth. I don't really like walking around and showing shitty cactus or cactus that you've already seen, that you can go back to my last video or my last 2 videos and really notice not much has grown. So I always like to show new stuff, or at least the same cactus with new growth, you know. Got this guy going, the CSD, and it's rooted into there, and so I attached this mesh here, and I'm hoping those roots grow into that so that it gets double the energy, nutrients. We'll see. Yeah, it hasn't really started growing yet. It's been so hot, but then some stuff is growing and some stuff is like not growing, and it's really when they get that bit at the top that breaks free and you can tell it's on a roll. Like Quichua, I fertilized the crap out of it the other day and watered it heaps because we're in a bit of a drought at the moment. But you can see there, it's like broken away from its seal, like its dormant seal almost. And especially once I take away the pup down there to graft, it's going to do some growth for sure. I'm expecting it to probably maybe get halfway up on this guy at least. That's what I'm hoping. But I'm going to put him in the ground, so that might stunt him a bit. I'm hoping end of this summer, I'll put him in the ground on the farm. And by putting him in the ground, I'd be expecting flowers from him next season. It should be good. More flowers, more flowers, more flowers, more flowers, more flowers. There's heaps, but a lot of this stuff is like really average, and this guy's alright. I'll still grow the seeds, I'll still cross them, but like if I crossed this guy with this guy, I really don't want them. It's just going to take up my time and space. I can't see much coming out of that that's going to be unique. So the only reason I'd keep the seeds from these guys is if, I don't know, maybe I cross it with the fat scopulicola with these guys, then yeah, sure, the seeds might be decent, but we'll see. Let's have a quick look at the seedlings. Oh, So in this, you can't see because it's so humid, but let's see. Yeah, you can. Okay, you can see those ones. They're growing there and there. Yeah, you can see those. So they have been in there, I don't know, 3 weeks now, maybe 4. But I'm gonna poke a hole in each one of these soon to let a bit of air in, because I always worry about, especially because I can't see them and I don't want to, it takes like half an hour to check every single one of them to make sure there's no mold in them, because every now and again I will get mold just because it's a bit too humid and the heat. But I'm gonna poke holes in them so that it lets a little bit of airflow in and see how they go, and then these guys will be going up to the farm soon, getting put into my greenhouse. Very exciting. I don't think there's much else, to be honest, to talk about. I like this guy, he's nice. These are the Peruvian seeds again. They all look quite similar. Which I will have to actually make a video about that later. On the farm, I have an insane amount of seed from Ana Chavez in Peru. And he told me, well, look, on the seed packets, he has names for them all. And I'm thinking, okay, they seem like they're names from towns. So I'm thinking, okay, so that each one of these packets is a different cactus from a different location. But now that they're getting older, they're all seeming quite similar, as if they're brother and sister from the same few cactus. There are some that are very different. So it's probably not all from the one cactus, but it's seeming a little sus. And look, I knew that from the start. I bought them knowing that they were from Peru, but that they're probably not going to be all unique and all from different parents from different locations. And that's fine, because I really am getting some really nice looking stuff, like this guy, that one, but they all just seem to come out super spiny. Some have a little bit of blue, but they all just seem to be very spiny. This guy's slightly different because he's quite rounded, and the rest don't have that rounded look. Like this guy's quite bumpy, but then, oh jeez, it's almost fell over. This guy's rounded, like a Pakanoi more so. We'll see. We'll see what comes of all of it. Alright, I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching, and again, if you want any cuttings of any of these guys, let me know. If you want whole plants, you'll have to pick them up from Sydney, or I can deliver somewhere in Sydney. And yeah, that's it.